Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to ACM classes today. आज का जो टॉपिक है, the topic that we have today, that is very important for CAT, XAT, and even SNAP. This is logical conditioning and grouping. So it's a part of logical reasoning and data interpretation. So what we're going to do, we're going to take some basics concept first, with some example, and here. The topic that we have today, that is very important for CAT, we will be XAT, and taking even SNAP. Your doubts. This is also. Logical conditioning and grouping. So let's see. So it's a part of logical reasoning and data interpretation. So what we're going to do, we're going to take some basics concept first question, with some first. Example. So let's take the concept straight away. Now the screen which you're going to have in front of you, that will be having some kind of questions. But before we go on those questions, let's go on the basics first. That is more important. So these are the questions like which have some conditions, if, but, only if and only if, and so on. So let's understand these concepts first of all. ठीक है? पहले concept समझते हैं, and then we'll go ahead and we'll take care of this further. SNAP, your doubts. This is also. Logical conditioning and group. There's some error I am seeing. Let me see. Let me check the stream health. That is okay. Okay. I have in front. So let's go ahead to the basics first. Now, what is this topic of logical conditioning grouping? Let's understand that there are questions. If we see, like, if Ram studies, he will pass his exam. Ram fails the exam. Which of the following statement is true? Ram studied for the exam. Ram may or may not have studied. Ram did not study, or none of these. So what can be the short conclusion of this kind of question? So there are some examples to explain you in the beginning. Then we have the puzzles which came in the CAT. There are multiple questions attached to one puzzle, another puzzle, a SNAP puzzle, XAT puzzle, and then the CAT puzzle. There are 5 puzzles from the past year papers we're going to solve today after we do some basic concepts, some basics of this topic. So to do this concept very easily, take out your pen and register and start noting down. Now this is very important to understand that the more we put our mind into it, we're going to lose the puzzle. We need to follow certain basic rules. If we follow the basic rules, this is going to be very easy for us. Let's see how. The first rule which we have for you, that is the rule number 1. Please note it down. Let me change the color of the pen. So rule number 1, that is, if A happens, then B also occurs. So this arrow tells me that if A gonna happen, then B will definitely happen. For example, let's take A as rain. If there is rain, then B is carrying an umbrella along. So if there will be rain, I'll carry an umbrella. Now, does it mean that if I do not carry, if if there's no rain, now this is a sign of negation. That is no rain. Now, will I carry an umbrella or will I not? The answer is I may carry an umbrella or I may not. Another part, if I see, if I'm carrying an umbrella, will there be rain? There may be rain, or there may not be rain. Will I explain that how? And the last, if there is no umbrella in my hand, now that definitely means that there is no rain. So this is the actual conclusion which I have to understand. So if a condition is given that if A happens, then B happens. If this is the condition which we have, then as per rule number one, the conclusion which we can derive that if B does not happen, then A also will not happen. Let's try with an example. If there is rain, I'll carry an umbrella. If there is no rain, I may carry an umbrella because of sunlight. If I'm carrying an umbrella, it may be there is rain, or it may be there's no rain, there is sunlight, there is heat. But if I'm not carrying an umbrella, that means there is no rain. Because if there is rain, then I have to carry an umbrella. That is a condition given to me. Now, this is very, very important to understand. This is something which maximum students get confused with, but we don't have to because we're going to follow the basic rules. The same way, if there's any doubt, anybody can write me in the comment section anytime. And do watch this video till end because at the end, we're going to have certain questions of the cat as I just explained. And do subscribe us for the next live session. Also, you get the notification and do like and comment even you are watching this video later on. So we can take your queries. Rule number two, if A happens, then B does not happen. Let's take it like this. Now, before I go ahead with the second rule, let's let's go ahead and take an example on rule number one. The first question which we have that says studies, if Ram studies, that means if Ram का study करना, that is A, he will pass the exam. That means passing the exam is going to be B. Now this concludes that if Ram will not pass, that means he did not study. Rest everything going to be may or may not be. Now the question given to us, Ram fails. That means Ram did not pass. Now if Ram did not pass, that means he did not study. Now which of the following statement is true? The answer is clearly Ram did not study for the exam. That is the answer I'm going to get. I hope this is quite clear. Any doubt anybody gets, they may let me know in the chat so I can help you out with it. Example number two, before we go on that, let's look at the rule number two. Now, if A happens, then B does not happen. Now, this gives me a conclusion that if B will occur, then A will not occur. So, this is the rule number two which we have. If this is given to us, then this is the conclusion. So, we can take an example again to understand this and to apply this, if, of course. Now, the second example which we have that says, if a thief sees a policeman on a given night, now if a thief sees a policeman on a given night, that means this is A, he will not commit the robbery. So robbery is B. For not, I'll write negation. And for committing a robbery, that is B. So A happens, B does not happen. Now this concludes that if B happens, That means A will not occur. A will not happen. That's the conclusion, definite. Otherwise, rest everything is may or may not. Now, one night, a thief does not see a policeman. Now, does not means negation. Seeing a policeman is A. So, A did not happen. That means B may or may not happen. So, if the thief has not seen the policeman, maybe he will rob the house that night or shop, or maybe he will not. We are not sure about it. We are only sure about one thing, that if he has committed the robbery, that means he did not see the policeman on that night. So that is the rule number two and the example to that. Now let's look at the example number three. Example number three, for that, let's see the rule number three also. The rule number three says, if A does not happen, if A will not occur, that means B will occur, B will happen. This is given to us. Now the conclusion comes out to be that if B does not occur, that means A will occur. That is the conclusion we're going to have. Now let's understand this rule also with an example. If Ashok does not wake up early. Now, if Ashok does not wake up early, so if Ashok does not wake up early, for does not, it is negation. Waking up early is A. And what is happening? His father drops him to school by car. So he'll go by car, his father will drop him, that means B. Now the conclusion to this is only one, that if father will not drop him to the school, that means he woke up early. Now in this question, Ashok's father drops him to the school. That means B occurred because B was dropping him to school by a car. Now Ashok's father drops him to school by a car. That means B occurred. Now my conclusion says if B does not occur, then only I can say A can occur. That means if B has happened, that means A may happen or A may not happen. So answer can be again, Ashok may or may not have woke up early. Maybe he has woken up early and his father was in the mood to drop him, so he dropped him to the school. And maybe he's not, so father has to drop him to the school. But we can't be sure about it. Here also the answer was option number may or may not. So this was the rule number three that we had. Now the last rule which we have to understand, rule number four. The rule number four says if A occurs, if A does not occur, this means B does not occur. This is given to us. This gives me the conclusion that if B occurs, then A will occur. That is the conclusion. Rest everything will be may or may not be. Let's see the example and the application of it. So Fiza will not wear a hat if it is not sunny. Now, if it is not sunny, if is coming here, that means not sunny. That is my A statement. So A did not happen. This is A. So Fiza will not wear a hat. That means wearing a hat became B. On a the conclusion comes out to be this, that if B occurs, then A will happen. That is the conclusion. But the question says if it is sunny on a particular day, it is sunny. That means A occurred because sunny is A. So now if A occurred, then B may happen or B may not happen. It can be anything. So again, the answer going to be Fiza may or may not wear a hat. That is the basics of the logical conditioning and grouping topic. Let's go further. Example number, there are certain cases where we have some more statements like if and only if. So if there is a question which has if and only if, how will you take care of that? So if it is if and only if, in this case, either both the things going to happen, going to occur, both going to be true, or both the conditions which they are depending on each other, either it will both going to be true or both going to be false. There is another thing which is only if. Now, in only if, we're going to see some examples of that. But only if the A and B gets interchanged. That means whatever has been mentioned here, that becomes RB, and whatever is before only if, that becomes RA, right? So that we have to understand carefully. We'll see some examples. Let's see. And there is another condition which A unless B. This clearly means that if A unless B, that means there is a dependency on B. There's some error, I believe. Give me one moment, please. Stream is not getting properly ahead. Just give me 1 second. Why it is so slow today? Just give me one moment. Just checking it. Okay. I believe it is okay now. Let's come back. So where were we? Okay. A unless B. Now A unless B, that means not B implies A. So these are some extra rules which are just the nomenclature is different. So this makes a good sense that we should be able to understand it. Now we're going to see the examples of this, how we're going to how this is going to be implied. Now let's see the next example. The next example we have that says there are three statements given. After this, we're going to take CAT questions because basics concept have been taken care. There are a lot of examples we have in our books, but I'm taking only the CAT questions or XAT questions so that we can take in the YouTube with you guys. Now the question says, a jumbled one. If all the three statements given are true, that means these three statements they are talking about. And which of the four logical deduction is valid? So this is what I have to find out the answer from. So this is given to us. Now doing well in CAT implies doing well in JEE. That means if somebody is doing good in CAT, that means their JEE score will also be doing good. They will be doing good in that exam also. Now good, this is JEE. Results ensure that you get into one of IITs or JISCs. It should be IISC, I believe. Some printing issue. So if JEE is happening, that means one will get admission into IIT or IISC. Now poor CAT results, that means a CAT, if it is not going good, you will not get admission into IIMs. So IIM will not be given to you. Now the conclusion, we have to make a chain now. The conclusion says, this is the rule number 4. If somebody is getting admission into IIM, that means the CAT is going to be good. This is the conclusion we have. Not A implies not B. Rule number 4, that concludes that if B happens, then A happens. So if not CAT, then IIM, not IIM. That means if IIM is being offered, that means the CAT was also good. So we can put the chain here, we can write IIM here, and then we can make it a complete chain. Now this is the complete chain to find out the answer. This is the complete chain which we have. Now on the basis of this, we have answer. Now let's see what are the answer we got which we have made. Now the first question we have, doing poorly in CAT always implied doing poorly in JEE. This we can't say because the chain does not has not CAT means not JE. We can't say that. The rule does not allow it. Good CAT result ensure one get admission into IIM. No. Reverse, we can't say. Admission to IIT or ISC may mean one has done well in CAT. Again, the chain is going back reverse. No, that is also not right. Anyone getting admission in one of the IIMs is guaranteed to get admission in one of the IITs. That is definitely right. This is the answer I'm going to get because if I'm doing well in CAT, I'm going to do, that means my CAT was good. If my CAT is good, that means my GE is good. And if my JE score is good, that means I'm going to get IIT or ISC. So anyone who's getting admission into IIM, definitely going to get into IIT or ISC. That is the right answer to this particular puzzle. Let's go for the next question now. The next question, CAT question, we're going to start. Until now, if one has not subscribed, liked, or shared this with their friends, I request to do that. So maximum people can take benefit. Now let's go ahead with the next question, next puzzle which we have. The next puzzle which we have now, that is a CAT question that came in CAT in the past. Go through this puzzle a bit, and then we're going to start with it. KLMNP QRSUW. So there are 10 people in the department. There are 10 members. KLMNOP QRSU and W. There is a proposal to form a team from within the members of the department subject to the following condition. Team must include exactly one among P, R, and S. That means out of P, R, and S, we should have only one. Exactly one. We can't take two or more than two from here. A team must include, so they are the condition must. Either M or Q, but not both. So at least every team gonna have two members. One from PRS, second from M or Q. So out of these five, only two people can be selected. That is the first hint. Because it is very, very important in CAT to understand the clients immediately when we do a question. If a team includes K, then it must also include and vice versa. I think there is a missing problem. Let me just see what was missing here. If a team includes K, let me just check in the master sheet because that should be there should be a name given to us here. So this is the first CAT question which we had in this chapter. So it should be in the beginning somewhere. Here it is. If a team includes K, then it must include L. Okay. So it is L gonna be here. That means either K and L both will come or they both will not come. So there's a pair that you have. Now, if a team includes one among S, U, and W, then it must include the other two. That means these three will always come together. S, U, and W. L and N cannot be the member of the same team. That means L hoga, so N nahi hoga. If L is there, then N will not be there. And if N is there, L will not be there. And L and U cannot be member of same team. So if L will be there, then U will not be there. And if U will be there, then L will not be there. The size of the team is defined as the number of members in the team. So the first question which you get, I believe the question is quite clear. If there's any doubt, you guys can ask me in the chat. I'm opening that also side by side. Now the first question which they have that says, what could be the size of the team that includes K? So K has to be a part of the team. So K has to be a part of the team. So let's make the team. So the first person we have that is K. Now if K is there, then L has to be there. The second person gonna be L. Now if L is there, we can't have N, we can't have U. That is clear cut. So if U is not there, that means we can't have S, U, and W also, because if we can have S or U or W, then we need to have all of them. So that means these three will not be part of the team, right? So out of P, R, and S, we may have P, we may have R, because that is must to include. And out of M or Q, I may have M, I may have Q. So the rest four people, N, U, S, W, we can't select them. Out of 10, four are not eligible. Out of other six, two we have all sure about, and the rest two Out of PR, one has to be there because this is exactly one and either not both. So that means the team will be of only four people. That is the answer to the first question of the cat puzzle, which came in the past. Let's go to the next part, the next part of this puzzle. The next part of this puzzle now that says how many in how many ways a team can be constituted so that the team includes n. So n should be a part of the team. So if n should be a part of the team, so let's have n here. So n is there, 1. Now if n is there, L cannot be there because this conclusion says if n is there, then L will not be there. So if L will not be there, then K will not be there. So K and L, they both will not be a part of this team. My question is, in how many ways a team can be constituted? So we can't have L, we can't have K. That is clear cut. Now, out of PRS, out of M or Q, we have to take one. So one we may take P or R or S. And again, we can have M or Q. So there are five people that we know we can only take two. The remaining five, L and K, we have not taken. N, we have already taken. Two more are left, who are U and W, right? So that will complete it. So let's take a case where we do not have S first of all. So with N, let's make it on a separate page. That will make it clear. Because there are going to be number of cases. So we have N with us. Now there's one option along with L. Now who we cannot have? We cannot have L, we cannot have K. Let's write that down side by side. So we cannot have L, we cannot have K in this team. Out of PRS, we can have one. So we can have P, we can have R, we can have S, any one of them, M or Q. Now if we take, let's say P, then with P we can take M, with P we can take Q, there's no problem at all. From U and W, we can't take anybody. Why we can't take anybody? Because if we take U and W, which we are not aware about as of now, then we need to take S along. So one team is NPM, second team is NPQ. The same way, with R also, we can have either M or Q. But if we take S, S will take U and W along. And then we have M and Q. Now let's see how many configuration we can have. The option we have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So till now we got 6 teams: NPM, NPQ, NRM, NRQ, and NSUWM and NSUWQ. There's no restriction which we are breaking as of now. First thing which we had, a team must include exactly one among P, R, and S. In this team we have P, in this team we have R, in this team we have S. The team must include either M or Q, but not both. In every team we have either M or Q. So that condition is also being met. If a team includes K, then it must include L also. So L and K has to be together, that we were aware about, or they will not be. A team include one among S, U, and W should have all other two also. So if S is there, then U and W has to be there. L and N cannot be the same member of the same team. So if N is there, L cannot be. So if L cannot be, then K also cannot be. And LU cannot be the member of the same team. Now in any team, we do not have L along. So the answer to this question gonna be, there are 6 ways that we can constitute this team, right? The next part of this question. The next part of this question now says, the question number 3 which we have, what would be the size of the largest possible team? Now the largest possible team I had in front of me already out of some options which we have. So this is the team which we have N, S, U, W, M, Q, M or Q, the 1 and 3, 4 and 1, 5. 5 is definitely we can create because this is 3, 3, 3, 3, but this has 5, 5. So can we go beyond 5? Now that's what we have to see. Now what will the size of largest possible team? Think about it. These are the clues given to you. One thing is very much sure. If we want to make a largest team out of PRS, we should have S. So we can have U and W along, right? L cannot have N along with, L cannot have U along with, and L and K has to be together. I'm sorry. L and U has to be together. So that means if you take L, N and U will not be there. So there are two people who definitely not going to be there, right? And if you take N, then L will not be there. So K and L, they both will be there, but N and U again, they're going to be a problem with that. So out of PRS, let's take S so we can have maximum people. So we can have S. If S is there, we're going to get U and W along with. Out of M or Q, we have one option. Let's take M. So from here, we can't have P, we can't have R because we have taken the person who's going to take maximum people along. Now, if let's take M because out of them, we can have only one. The other 5 people which are left with L, K, N, which are just in front of you guys, L, K, U, W. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 8 people who are left. That is L, U, and K. Now, if I take L and K, the problem L and U cannot be together. So I can't take L. So I need to remove L and I need to remove K along with that because they always come together. So the maximum people that can be in the team which we can have, that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth that we can have, who is left? N is left. So we can have N. So the same team which we just made, that is going to be the answer to this question also. I hope this is also quite clear. There are only 5 people can be in this team? Let's look at the next part of this question now. The next part of the question says, who can be a member of a team of size 5, which we just made? KLMPR. So this is from the previous question. We can't have in the team. P and R cannot be for sure. So P and R will not be for sure. L and K also will not be for sure. So who can be a member of the team? That is M, because we had option of M or Q. So we have taken M. So M can be a part of the team. So we can have M or we can have Q. So that is the answer straight away. Now, who cannot be a member of the team of size 3? Who cannot be a member of team of size 3? Now, M and Q has nothing to do with anybody. So definitely they may have. So if there's a size 3, we know that out of P, R, and S, we have to take one. So we can have P. We have to take R and S are not there. That is okay. So he can be a part. From M or Q, M also can be a part, Q also can be a part. So there are two people done. There one person we have left with. Now if I take L, I need to take K along. So that will be a size 4 team. So that is the answer in that case. We can't take L, we can take N. So team can be M and P or Q and P. That is a possibility. So this puzzle is solved. This was a cat puzzle which came in the past, cat years, PYQs. I believe this puzzle is solved. This puzzle is done. Any doubt anybody has, they can let me know in the comment section itself so I can answer you right away. Otherwise, let's move to the next puzzle. And if we have not liked, subscribed, or commented, then do that. So that will definitely help us. Let's go for the next question now. Puzzle 2, question cat. So the second puzzle of cat that we're going to take today, that says the head of a newly formed government desires to appoint 5 of the 6 elected members A, B, C, D, E, and F. Portfolio: home, power, defense, telecom, and finance. F does not want any portfolio if D gets one of the C. Wants either home or finance or no portfolio. B says that if D gets either power or telecom, then she must get the other one. E insists on the portfolio if A gets one. So let's just break it down. F does not want any portfolio if D gets one of the portfolios. Here it's gonna be. So that means out of F, if F gonna be there, then D will not be there. Or we can say if D is there, F is not gonna be there. So F and D should not be together. Let's on that basis, if we try to find out, option number 3 is not a possibility. That is not a valid because F and D, they both are here. The second restriction, the second constraint we have, C wants either home or finance or no portfolio. Now, no portfolio we can't afford because there are 6 people and we have to appoint 5 out of 6. And the option we have that is between F and D. So everybody else has to take a portfolio. That means for C, we can't say no portfolio. C either has to have home or finance. Now, if C is having either home or finance, in the options given, the first option C is having defense, not possible. Here C is having telecom, not possible. That means clear cut answer I get option number 2. So this question is also solved. So if you are aware about the signs as we just discussed in the beginning of the class, that will definitely give a edge to you guys over the other students. Let's go for the next question. Question number 2. If A gets home and C gets finance, then which is not a valid assignment for defense and telecom? Now, A gets home and C gets finance. Now, C gets finance, that is okay. Again, the first restriction, F and D, they both should not be together. In none of the options they are together. So that is okay. C wants either home or finance. So we have given finance to C. So that is also okay. Now B says if D gets either power or telecom, then she must get the other one. So if B says if D gets either power or telecom, then B should get other one. So let's see if D has got power or telecom in any option. D got defense, D got telecom. That means B should get power in this case. But B is getting defense. That means this is not valid. That is not possible. So both the questions are done. So sometimes they're going to be easy ones to crack also. So we should make sure that we should see the question before we attempt it. So if we have done a question like before, we should definitely try it and we should get the question right away. Let's go to the next question now. The next question is from SNAP, symbiosis. 7 people, A, B, C, D, E, are playing to enjoy boating. There are only two boats, and the following condition are to be kept in mind. 7 people, two boats. A will go in the same boat in which E is to go. So A and E will be together. F cannot go in the same boat in which C is unless D is also accompanying. So F will not go into boat where C is. The only one thing that is possible unless D is accompanied. So D has to be, if D will be there, not be there. Neither B nor C can be in the given boat in which G is. So G and B and C that's going to be on the separate sides. So they're going to be together. That means because there are only two boats. So one has to be in the other boat. The maximum number of persons can be four. That means the boat's going to have four and three. That is the number of persons we're going to have. So one thing which we are sure about, then A and E has to be together. The other thing which we are aware about, then B and C has to be together. And G will not be in the other. So G gonna be in the other team. Now they say F cannot go in the same boat in which this is the only line we are left with. F cannot go in the same boat in which C is unless D is also accompanying. So we are not aware about right now F and D. The first question, the questions of the basis of if. So we need to go through the questions because as you guys must be aware, if there is a if clause given in the questions, that means there is a condition which we may get extra in that particular question. So let's solve this. Now, if F and B are in one boat, so let's have F and B in one boat. They are in one boat. Then which of the following statement is true? Now, if F and B are in this one boat, then G is in the other boat. Definitely correct because if we have B or C, G cannot be there. So in the we have BF, if F and B are in one boat, then G is in the other boat. That is definitely right. We can't go with the same boat where B is sitting. G cannot be in the same boat. So this line number 3 gives me the answer to that. Quite simple, I believe. If E gets the boat with F, now the second part, if E and F they both got together, Which of the following is the complete and accurate list of the people who must be sitting in one board? So if E, F, F gonna be together, that means A has to be there also because A has to go along with E. That means BC cannot be in the same board, so BC has to be in the other board. Now who are left? Now BC will not be in the same board where G is, so this is going to be G, and this is going to be D. Now which one is the complete or accurate list? That is the answer option number 4. Now another thing which they said complete list, and we know one has to be 4, one has to be 3. All these options has only 2 options. So maybe the printing issue came in the exam, or if there was, we got the answer at CDB. So that makes the complete sense to me. So third past year puzzle has been solved. There are 2 more to go. Let's take care of the next puzzle also. Puzzle number 4, that is XAT Xavier's puzzle. During a 4-week period, each one of 7 previously unadvertised products GHJKLMO will be advertised. Just go through the puzzle once. It says during a 4-week period, each one of 7 previously unadvertised products GHJKLMO will be advertised. A different pair of these products will be advertised each week, but there are 7. Exactly, one of the products will be a member of 2 of these 4 pairs. So none of the other products get repeated in any pair. Further, the following constraints must be observed. Okay, so that means there are 4 weeks we're gonna have. Let's write week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. So these are the 4 weeks, and they're gonna be 2 products every week we're gonna advertise. One of them will be repeated once. J is not advertised during a given week unless H is advertised during the immediately preceding week. That means if there's H, then J can be in the next week. So that is the condition. But this condition is on J, not on H. H can come independent, but J cannot. If J has to be there, unless H is advertising during the immediately preceding week. So if H is not in the preceding week, that means J is also not. तो पहले H आना जरूरी है. After that, the next week J will come. Otherwise, J will not come. The condition is on J. The product that is advertised twice is advertised during week 4, but is not advertised during week 3. So the product which is getting repeated, that will be here. Let's put a star mark here. So there's a repetition going to be. G is not advertised during a given week unless either J or O. That means if G is there, he has to be with either J or O. Now this condition is again on G, not on O. They can come alone. K is advertised during once the first 2 weeks. So K has to be either in week 1 or in week 2. O is one of the products advertised during week 3. So O is the one of the products which gonna get advertised here. So this is what we are aware about. Now this is the puzzle given to us in XAT in the past years. Now how to solve this puzzle? We have already made the framework, the blueprint. Now let's put the information here. Let's put the questions here. The first question, which one of the following could be the schedule of the advertisement, which can be. So let's check that. We don't have to make it. Understand that in the previous questions, if you have observed, we have not solved the puzzle completely. We have solved the questions. So that is the trick. We have to solve the questions only, not the puzzle. Puzzle will not get anything with solving the puzzles. Questions have to be solved. That is more important. So let's go to the question straight away after writing the conditions. Which one of the following could be the schedule for the advertisements? Now first says week 1 H and K possible. Week 2 J and G, that is possible because we have H, after H we have J, that is okay. And after G, along with G we have J or O, that is also here, that is happening. O is in the third week, that is right. M or K, there are two options, and week 4 has a repetition of K, so one is a possible one. Second, H, K and J, M. After H we have J, that is right. Along with O we have L, that is right. For G, M, that is not possible. So option number 2 is not the answer. In the first one, H, L, J, M. Now K is not happening. We are being told that week 1 and week 2 gonna be K. So that is also not the right answer. Now here we have K, M. Here we have H, J. But before we have J, we need to have H before that week. So that is also not the answer. So the first answer, which we already cleared, that is the right answer. Now the other are not the answer. The reason are in front of you. Any doubts, you can write in the comments. We'll be glad to help you. The next question, number 2. If L is the product that is advertised during 2 of the weeks, so that means L gonna be advertised during 2 of the weeks. So let's take L is the product which will get advertised during both the weeks. So let's change the color of the pen. Let's take it here. So L has to be here. That means that's for sure. Which one of the following is a product that must be advertised during one of the weeks in which L is advertised? Now, which one of them has to be along with L? So what gonna be in week 4, and or L can be in week 1 and week 2 also. That's what we have to see. Now the repetition is of L. So anything which we talk about, which of them that must be advertised along with L, that's what we have to see. Now let's take the first option, G. Now G has a condition that has to come with J or O. So that means G cannot be the answer. So G is not the answer because G needs H, J or O along with. So L, along with L it can't come. Now L can it be with H? Can it be with J? Can it be with K, or can it be with M? We have to make it a bit. Let's see. We have the first condition H. After that H we should have J. Now if I have H here, let's understand that. And if I have J in that case here, right? Now this is not possible because G needs J or O. Clear? That means H cannot be in week 2. If week 3 cannot be J, that's for sure. Right? So that is not possible because G will not come without J or O. So week 3, if we have J and O both, so that is not possible. So J should not be here at all. J cannot come here. That means I can have J here and H here. That is one thing which I can have. And then G and O has to be together. Now I can't have G anywhere because G needs J or O. Now here we have L and J. Here we have O and H, and O and J cannot be repeated because repetition is of being L. So that means H and J this way is also not possible. I'm making it very clear. That means J cannot be here. J cannot be here. Now that means J has to be here. Now if J has to be here, then H has to be here. Quite clear. Now G has to be with either J or O. Now, we know that, and one of these parts we're going to have K also, right? Now, K else also has to come here. Now, K can be where? K can be here and can be here also. And the other part which be L, that means K will not come along with L, that is also sure. That we also can say. So, ना तो G answer है, neither we have the answer as G, nor we have the answer as K. Answer can be either H or J or M. Now, L has to come with H or J. So, that is also quite clear to us, right? Now, there are two options which I get. Either G will be here and K will be here. But how? Not possible because L has to come here. That means G has to be here. Clear? So G cannot be the answer as we already said. Now the another thing which we are left with, the another product which we have, that is M. So M has to be here. That's for sure. That's for sure because now K can be here and L can be here, or L can be here, K can be here. So we are not sure. But this definitely has to be LM. That is the answer. Must be advertised L along with M. That is 100% sure because H and J has been fixed as per this condition. G has to with J and O. If G comes here, then K comes here, then L does not has a place, so G has to come here. Now K and L, we are not sure. There are two options, but M who is left, that has to definitely be here. That means the answer to this question was M. I believe this question is also quite clear. The next question which we're going to have. Question number 3. Which one? Now this colored condition which I just made, now that was only for question number 2 because they are mentioned if L is the product. So that is not valid now. We got to go with the blue marking only. Question 3. Which one of the following is a product that could be advertised in any of the 4 weeks? Now, which one of them can be advertised any of the 4 weeks? That means, first of all, O is not possible because O is fixed in third, and the one which has to be repeated, that is in week number 4. Now, we don't have any condition given to us. Now, H has to be with J. So, sorry, J has to be after H. So, J cannot be because every time J comes, it needs H. So, if there are two J's, it is going to be. So O, J cannot be advertised in week 1, right? Because before that, we need H. So, that is not the answer. Now, if K is getting repeated, it can be 1 and 2 and can be 3, and it cannot be in 3 and 4. If K is being repeated, because they said which one of the following is a product that could be advertised in any of the 4 weeks. In any of the 4 weeks. Now, K is once come in week 1 and week 2, then once it will come in week 4, that means week 3, K cannot come. So, K also will not be the answer. Out of H and L, for L, we do not have any condition. For H, again, if we say, if we take H only once, let's say first week, if H comes, J will be in the second week. If J is only once, if H is in week 2, then J will be in week 3, right? I'm saying J is only once. Now, H cannot be in week 3 because if we are saying H is being repeated, it will not be here because it needs HJ along with. That means the answer to this question going to be L because we do not have any restriction on L. So L can come anywhere in week 1 along with K, in week 2 along with K, with O along in week 3, and or week 4 also along with it. So that is a straight away answer I have. H also will not be a part of this. So the questions are very tricky, which we get in XAT. So make sure we understand that very carefully. The next question, if we have after this, yes, we have one more. Before the last question, which one of the following is a pair of products that could be advertised during the same week? Now, which one of the products that can be advertised? So H and J, of course, cannot take that out. So the equation, if we go through once again, pair of products that could be advertised during the same week. That is G, J, and G, O. So, right, we have that in the option. So we have G, J, and G, O. No, we don't have. But we know G has to be with J or O. So G and H is not possible. Now M and O and H and O. Now M, O, and H, O. Now let's see that. Now if H, O is here, then J can be here. So that is an option. And the last one we have M and O. Now if J gets with J, G gets with J, then M can get with O. So that is also right. That is also possible. So both of them are possible. So which one can be the answer? G and H we have eliminated. H and J also we have eliminated. Out of M and O and H and O, that's what we have to find out. The last question of this puzzle. If you can answer it, write in the chat. So very simple. M and O and H and O. Let's see. We know O is into week 3 and it's not getting repeated. If I have H here, then we know H will not so not get repeated. So after that H, we may have J here, right? That means either J has to be repeated or something else has to be repeated. Now G and has to go with either J or O. For O, we have taken out the option. So if we take G along with it, now either J has to be repeated, for that we need H, or G has to be repeated, then we need J or O, and that is not possible. That means O and H also can't be repeated at the same time. The answer gonna be M and O because M does not has any restriction on it. Now coming down to the last puzzle. Until now, if you have not subscribed, like, I request you do that because that keeps us motivated. Let's look at the last puzzle. Let's start with it. The director of an institute wants to distribute teaching assignments of HRM, psychology, development studies, trade policy, and finance to five of six newly appointed faculty members. That means one will not get one. Professor Fatehda does not want any assignment if Professor Das gets one of the five. That means the option we have either Mr. Das or Mr. Fatehda, one of them will be there. The rest, everybody should get that. Professor Chaudhary desires either HRM or finance or no assignment. That means this no assignment thing will not be there because we can't afford that. Professor Bonik opines that if Professor Das gets either psychology or trade policy, then she must get the other one. Professor Ishwar insists on an assignment if Professor Acharya gets one. Now, kuch yaad aa raha hai? Last, the question which we have just done, this is the same kind of question which we have just done the puzzle 2, CAT question, right? The same kind of question with the same pattern it came in IFT also. So this puzzle I'm leaving on you guys now. This puzzle I'm leaving on you guys. If you guys can solve it, answer me in the comment section what gonna be the answer to these questions, because the questions gonna be the same kind of combination which I can see. It is a ditto same question, just with the change in names and the facts. It's absolutely same on the same pattern. So I'm gonna leave this here in front of you. I'm gonna the second question also, so you can see that and answer that in the comment later on. So we will check your answers. So this is the puzzle which I'm giving for you guys. In the next class, or if you have the comment section, if you write, we will answer you there, whether you're right or wrong. And this is the first question. And this is the second question. This is almost same. So that means last year puzzles, PYQs are very, very important for us. We should not miss them. The last year puzzles, PYQs, they are very, very important. You never know when they're going to pick up the same kind of questions again, with a change in names, with a change in facts. With this, I'll take a leave. And before taking a leave, thank you so much for watching. And do like, subscribe, comment, and share so maximum people can be benefited. Thank you so much. Take care. Goodbye.